Welcome to another episode of Learn IT with Encarta. Today I'm going to show you a very important tool in Microsoft Word which most users need but they hardly use. Assuming you are a secretary to a very big executive officer, a CEO, managing director, or what have you, then he calls you as a secretary and tells you that you are going to have your annual general meeting and that he wants you to send letters to your stakeholders, inviting them to the annual general meeting. And let's further assume that the stakeholders are about 40 to 50 people. That means that as a secretary, you are going to prepare letters to these 40 or 50 people having the same content, but each receiver will have their address on the letter. Now, the approach I have seen people use in handling scenarios like this are three. Let me show you those scenarios. The first is they type the letter, as you can see. You have the sender's address here. Now, when you come to the receiver's address, they just put distribution here. Then they have dear sir or madam, because the gender of the receiver may change, may vary. Then we have blah, 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 the content of the letter. Then when it comes to the signing area, after the signature, then we have distribution again, a list, which is a list of the receivers. So a copy of this letter will be sent to the boss to sign. Then copies will be made together with this list to all those who are to receive the letters. That is one. Another approach I have seen is that they prepare the letter, one, and insert the first receiver's address and print. Then edit the address, delete and insert the address of the second person and print. Edit, insert the address of the next person and print. They continue like that until the 50th person address is printed. That's another. Then the last one is they will create a copy of the first letter bearing the address of the first recipient. Then copy and paste with a different name. Then edit the second letter to reflect the address of the second person. Copy and paste again. Edit the third one to reflect the address of the third receiver. Continue copy and pasting like this until they have 50 copies of the letters, each containing the receiver's address. That's time consuming. Luckily, Microsoft has created a tool which is used in handling such a scenario, and it's called mail merging. That's what I'm going to show you in this tutorial. If you want to learn more of videos like this, keep following our page. Keep following us on TikTok, Encarta Stan, Instagram, Anyas Encarta, and on Facebook, Anyas Yusuf. Keep following, and we'll show you more. If there is any area you want us to concentrate on, indicate that in the comment section. We'll review it, make videos on those, and post them in our subsequent tutorials. Okay, let's dig in. So let's assume, based on the information our boss giving us, this is the letter we are going to send to our receivers. Here I have my sender's address. Then here on the left side, I have the receiver's address. You can see that here I have not typed anybody's name. I just indicated receiver name, receiver address, receiver location. Now look at the salutation, dear receiver, which means the information here is also going to reflect the name, the first name or one of the names of the receiver. Now let's look at the body too. This comes to officially invite you in your capacity as. We also have receiver capacity here, which means that this place is also likely to change. Now, in order to make it easy for us, let me highlight all the changing areas to a red color for easy identification. Okay, then the salutation, also red. Then the receiver capacity, also red. Okay, so these are the portion of the letter that will be changing based on who is receiving the letter. All right, now having done this, the first thing you have to do is come to the menu up here, the menu buttons here, and look for mailings, which is here. You click on mailings, then come to select recipients on the left side here. So you select type a new list. Now by default, Microsoft has created some fields. As you can see, the columns here, we have title, first name, last name, company name, and so on. But we have our own fields we want to fill, which is receiver name, receiver address, receiver location, receiver salutation, and the receiver capacity. So we are going to have to edit this to reflect what we want. So I'll come down here and click on customize columns. How many columns do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to delete what is inside there and leave only 5. So the first one is already selected for me, so I'll delete. Next, delete. Next, delete. I'm going to delete until I can maintain only 5 of them. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. I have to delete one more. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5, I'm going to rename them to reflect what I want here. So at the bottom, you have selected the first one, so I'll click rename and rename it to receiver name. I will rename the next to receiver address. I'll rename the third to receiver location. I'll rename the next to receiver salutation. And then the last one, which is here, is the receiver capacity. Okay, then I'll click OK. Now you can see that the columns have now changed to reflect what I wanted. I'm now going to type my address, my receiver's address in this list. So the first is say Mr. Ajokum Osei, and he is with Ghana Breweries Limited. So the address, the location is Kumasi. The salutation, I will say Mr. Ajokum. That's how we want to address him on the letter. So his capacity, he is say a chairman. He is the chairman of the stakeholders. Then when I come to the bottom, I have new entry. Click on it and to create a new line for you. So the next person is Mr. Alfred Kumson. So he's with Ghana Education Service, which is in Accra. So we'll address him as Mr. Kumson. So he is a member. Okay, so I'll click new entry. I have Madam Vivian Aloy. She is with Internal Revenue, which is also in Kumasi. We will address her as Madam Vivian. She is a secretary. Let me add 2 more. So we have Mrs. Theodora Osei. She is also with Ghana Health Service, Accra. We'll address her as Mrs. Osei. She is a member. Then the last one, let's see, Miss Veronica Afum. She is with, let's say, Chag. So let's say Accra. We'll address her as Miss Veronica. She is also a member. Okay, having typed my receivers list here, then I'll click OK. It will give me the opportunity to save the list. So That means that you can even use the list in other letters in case there is the need to to send letters to the same people. Okay, so I'm going to name this AGM AGM letters. Let me put it on the desktop for easy identification. Okay, having done that, I have saved the letters. The next thing I have to do is to come back to the select recipients. Click on it and select use an existing list. So when I click on this, I will have to look for the file I just saved on the desktop, AGM letters, and click open. Now, the next thing I have to do is come to the first field where the address will be changing. I'm highlighting the name, receiver name. Then you come to insert merge field up here. Click on it and select the first field. Then I'll highlight the next, that's the address. Come to insert merge field, receiver address. I will highlight the next, come to insert merge field, receiver location. I will highlight the next. Notice it is only the colored things I'm highlighting. So that's the salutation. Then the last one, highlight this, come to insert merge field and select the last one. Now, once I've done this, the only thing you have to do is you see there's a preview button here. You click on that, you can see the address of the first person has appeared. We have Mr. Ejokum Osei, Ghana Breweries Limited, Kumasi. Dear Mr. Ejokum, this comes to officially invite you in your capacity as a chairman of stakeholders to the annual general meeting, blah, blah, blah. Now, at the top here, you can see we have some transport buttons, next, last, previous, and so on. And it's showing that this is the address of first person. So when I click on this next button, you can see that the address has changed to the next person. As I keep clicking, that information, the receiver's information will keep changing. So you can keep clicking here and printing instead of using the three conventional ways I mentioned earlier. I hope somebody will benefit from this video. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to learn more about these things or there's an area you want us to discuss, please put it in the comment section. We'll review, make videos on them, and post them in our subsequent updates. I hope this mail merging tutorial has been helpful, and it's our hope that someone will benefit from it. Thank you very much.